Good morning, welcome. So you're probably aware we are starting with a new series, probably hopefully go on for a little bit more than just the 3 sessions. And these were inspired by these well-known Hatha yoga postures. And some may know some of the postures, whether you've actually done any physical yoga or not. But I'm not a Hatha yoga instructor. But in terms of, we have always mentioned that there are just elements of Raja Yoga that are used in these staff reflections. And so Raja Yoga is a lot about consciousness. Actually, it's all about consciousness. And so it's an older study than Hatha Yoga. And so there's always very deep significance to these postures that is studied in Hatha Yoga. And how can these postures, which are actually very relevant to us, everyone, doesn't matter your walk of life, but we do use it all the time. We just don't realize it. Or we try to be able to have a certain position inside. When I deal with things in life, when I live life. And so this session today is called the posture of integrity. So these postures of being is the significance that we explore of Padmasana, which is the posture of the lotus. So once again, these sessions are also audio recorded. To take quiet time for myself is actually an act of courage. It is an act of courage because we are very used to enforcing change in a very visible, physical way. Start a new job, move from one place to another, buy a set of new clothes. And yet the change, if I discover the kind of change that needs to happen, has a lot to do with how I think, how I feel, my attitudes that I have about myself, about life, about ever-changing events. And it's not meant to be a forceful change. If I can learn, how can this change help me? And usually we're pulled to take a pause. Usually when things are noisy in the mind, we usually like to ease into the day, ease into the morning, gradually, not thrown into the thick of that list of things to do. And it's because it's usually on an internal level, one is actually trying to prepare. It might seem like it's that morning cup of coffee. It might seem like it's getting early up to get ready, so I'm not rushing out the door, but there's actually some internal preparation that's happening, whether it's time, whether it's just having some amount of time where I don't have to start to think about roles and expectations, deadlines. So that is already happening inside of us. None of that can be seen, and yet those are things that matter to us. We just don't realize. So quiet time is an act of courage. The shift inside to recharge, to see patterns inside so that I don't become enslaved to those same internal habits. These are things I cannot see, and yet essential things in living life. And so it is an act of courage. And then when I'm in this quiet space right now, just being aware that even if it's just for now, I give myself permission for this quiet time. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Right now, I don't have on that badge of whatever job I have to take on, that hat that I identify with. And also not even the roles I play in the remainder of the day. Someone's partner, someone's mother, someone's sister, someone's friend. Right now, however I define as me. And however I want to actually be defined. So used to the definition of all the things I have to do. But this is quiet time for me, not about roles. My sense of being a valuable contributor to the world. It's just this time. It's quiet time for me. And actually, perhaps a rare one in this world. For now, it's not about that to-do list. And even if it doesn't even look like I know what I'm doing, perhaps even just that, how many more things do I have to get done on that list that never ends? How many more check boxes of approval do I need from everyone around me? Just acknowledging that so much of what we do in the day may not actually be filling what needs to be filled inside. And that allows me to let go. A part of it is perhaps sheer tiredness and disinterest in that same routine. And that letting go, it just lets me to have permission to be here with me. Allows this quiet time. That letting go allows even a bit more of a slowing down inside. And that letting go allows for the stillness that I've been looking for. Stillness allows me to have more clarity. Maybe not so much about thinking, but just the feeling. There's less internal noise. When I realize I can take this pause for myself. And this stillness, it's an experience. There's lightness in this stillness. There's a feeling of ease and acceptance. I might not even be used to this stillness, mainly because I'm used to thinking my way through life, even trying to think my way into peace. But I sit in this stillness, just trusting the impact and just being in this quiet time with myself. We hear of that phrase, incubation period. It can be used for growth development. It's just time that's required that allows for something to emerge. And usually when we feel overwhelmed in the day, we want things to stop, we try to run away. What we're actually looking for is this slowing down inside. Because in this quiet time, it's not that I stop thinking. It's just the quality of what I'm feeling inside changes. And yes, the quality of my thinking can change too. And this allows for a deeper sense of grounding inside. A slowing down that allows for the thoughts to stop racing. I'll have more access to my standards, my principles that matter to me in life, my integrity. Living my life based on my integrity. It isn't a thinking exercise. It never has been. When I'm drained and I am taxed and I'm stressed, it then becomes a thinking exercise. But when I recharge, when I'm grounded, when there's peace inside, I can easily access, I'm easily able to know what feels right according to my standards, my principles that matter to me. And everyone has that. And this stillness, this groundedness, it actually allows me to have this natural capacity to make decisions from that place. You just feel what's right. You can hold that feeling when you're in action and interactions. You can feel your own sense of self, your own integrity. And so this slowing down, it's an act of courage because that recharge is so invisible and yet so essential. This recharge is like reactivating my inner core, the way we activate the physical core of the body to be able to move the body in certain positions. I activate this inner sense of me. It's an experience of me so that I can have that sense of integrity, that pure sense of the real me when I am in these different roles. That is what this symbolism of the lotus is. This beautiful flower blooming above the water in the midst of muddy waters. The lotus has a significant root system. The diameter of one root is about 1.5 to 2 inches wide. Such a tremendous ground system, tremendous foundation deep inside the ground, so that that lotus flower can remain so beautiful in the midst of muddy waters. Not affected by the muddy waters. That's what the symbol of that lotus is. So this posture of being, holding the integrity of me. I need this quiet time now and then so I can be that lotus. So much noise in the environment, ever-changing scenes around me. So much tension at times in the atmosphere. How do I maintain this inner core? It begins with this posture, this position inside of how I feel. Stillness is the seed. I feel the stillness. I hold myself in this stillness, this safe zone. so I can learn to hold this stillness and its residual effect that I can keep with me in my daily activities. Stillness. It is an inner capacity. It's an experience. It's a state of being. And I fill in this experience. And in time, learning to actually access that experience, how to protect that grounded experience in action, interaction. But to begin with, just accessing that so I can actually access my sense of integrity again. So I can be that being of integrity, this posture of being. I can picture an image of a lotus. I can imagine myself to be a lotus, but that is nothing at all compared to what it actually means to embody that actual symbolism in a practical way. So, this is something relevant, real, just accessing these innate capacities I already have. A symbol of a lotus. It's just a picture, but it's deeper meaning. How can that become practically relevant to me? So trust this quiet time right now. Is actually helping me to develop this internal groundwork, this root system rooted in the capacities that I have in me. I just haven't been able to access it because of stress, feeling disconnected, because of forgetting what matters to me or dishonoring that. I welcome you to stay a few more minutes if you choose. Still, this quiet time for me, a beautiful way to start the day. I welcome you. Feel free to download these sessions, use them to start your day. You can even listen to this one again. We'll upload it shortly after. I've met a lot of new individuals who just have a consistent practice. So they develop this accumulation for this quiet time. Something so invisible, this accumulation, but they can feel the difference. The symbol of a lotus is very, very well known in the East. And as we see physical yoga become extremely popular here in the West, that symbol is used everywhere. That symbol actually represents being able to maintain my sense of self in the midst of an environment that isn't ideal. We're used to suppressing things, controlling things, avoiding things to maintain a sense of not being influenced. But a lot of it actually has to do with inner core. Just like the body has to have this activated physical core, I can accumulate this quiet time. I need to learn how to observe things observe my thoughts, observe things around me in a place as a witness, so that I can maintain this inner sense of groundedness. So I welcome you to, again, keep up with your practice if you have one. You can download these audios from the Inner Peace, Inner Freedom Google Drive. But practice, fill up and practice. You walk around through the day, be deliberate. Okay, for 2 minutes. Easiest in the morning, easiest when you're already in that space. I just want to take 1 extra minute, 30 seconds. I want to feel what it feels like to feel grounded when I'm moving. So a warm appreciation for joining. Our next sessions will be next week, because it is a third Wednesday and third Thursday. It's the 15th and 16th. And a kind reminder that I will actually be on site working on the 16th. And so instead of trying to find another platform to do this, we will do a pre-recorded session and make sure it launches live at the times that we always agree to. And so we'll send out that notice actually tomorrow for our week ahead reminder. And we'll share about the next topic in this series as well. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Practice, and keep having this time for yourself. So I just want to thank you for joining us.